trying to come away, but Elaine Thompson on the far side, and it's Thompson who's going to become the Olympic champion. She's beaten the Queen.
In 2016, no one outside Jamaica saw it coming. Elaine Thompson-Herah, a sprinter who had barely made headlines before that year, lined up in the Olympic 100-meter final in Rio. She wasn't the favorite. Most eyes were on Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, the reigning queen of Jamaican sprinting, or American stars like Tori Bowie. But in just 10.71 seconds, everything changed. Elaine crossed the finish line ahead of all of them. Then, just days later, she stunned the world again by winning the 200 meters in 21.78 seconds. She became the first woman since Florence Griffith Joyner in 1988 to win both the 100 meters and 200 meters at a single Olympics. Her name was suddenly etched into history. But what the world didn't know was how quickly everything would fall apart after that. From 2017 to 2020, Elaine was almost invisible. A chronic Achilles injury began to wear her down, and her times dropped. She was still training, still showing up, but the fire seemed to be fading. By 2019, she was off the podium at major events. Fans began to whisper that maybe 2016 was a fluke. Maybe her time had passed. Even Jamaican media, which once celebrated her, shifted focus to rising stars like Fraser-Pryce and Shericka Jackson. Elaine didn't say much. She didn't make headlines with dramatic comebacks or bold statements. She stayed silent, grinding through pain, setbacks, and doubt. The Achilles injury didn't just affect her performance, it threatened to end her career entirely. She couldn't explode out of the blocks the way she used to. She had to relearn her own body, train differently, and commit to long, grueling recovery work. Despite the physical challenges, she surrounded herself with a support system that included medical experts, trainers, and mental health professionals. Her husband, Darren-Herah, also played a pivotal role in her journey. As her manager and former athlete himself, he helped keep her grounded and focused during her most trying years. Thompson-Herah was born in Banana Ground, a rural district in Manchester Parish, Jamaica, on June 28, 1992. She attended Manchester High School and later the University of Technology in Jamaica, where she trained under renowned coach Stephen Francis. Her collegiate success was modest, but it was at MVP Track Club where her transformation into a world-class sprinter began. In 2015, she broke onto the international scene with a silver medal in the 200 meters at the World Championships in Beijing. That podium finish gave the world a glimpse of her potential. The years following Rio were frustrating, but they also turned her into a more complete athlete. Elaine began experimenting with different start techniques and race strategies. She adapted her weight training and used underwater treadmill workouts to ease pressure on her Achilles. Everything was a puzzle, and she was determined to solve it. Then came Tokyo 2021. By then, Elaine wasn't even the favorite. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce had been dominating the season. Shericka Jackson was on the rise. Dina Asher-Smith and other global stars were being spotlighted. And Elaine, she wasn't the world leader. Her times leading up to the games weren't extraordinary. Pundits barely mentioned her name in the gold medal conversation. But in Tokyo, under the blazing lights and pressure of the world's biggest stage, Elaine reminded everyone who she was. In the 100-meter final, she exploded out of the blocks. With flawless technique and terrifying power, she left the field behind and crossed the line in 10.61 seconds, a new Olympic record and the second fastest time in history. Only Flojo had ever run faster. Shelly-Ann and Jackson, both in the race, couldn't match her pace. It was the comeback of the century. She wasn't finished. In the 200 meters, she blazed to a stunning 21.53 seconds, the second fastest time ever recorded. And to cap off her unbelievable run, she anchored Jamaica to gold in the 4x100 meter relay. 3 gold medals, a clean sweep, and history made once again. Elaine became the first woman ever to win the 100 meters and 200 meters at back-to-back Olympics. She did what no one thought was possible, especially after years of injury and doubt. She didn't just return, she dominated. Her performances weren't just fast, they were defiant. They silenced critics. They reminded the world that greatness doesn't always scream. Sometimes it trains in silence. Sometimes it falls apart and rebuilds stronger than ever. Off the track, Elaine is humble and soft-spoken. She's not one for the spotlight unless it's race time. She credits her faith, her coach, and her unshakable discipline for her resurgence. She often speaks about the mental toughness it took to keep going when it felt like the world had moved on. Elaine's story is more than medals. It's about resilience, about proving that setbacks don't define a champion, comebacks do. After Tokyo, Elaine continued to compete at the highest level. In August 2021, she ran 10.54 at the Prefontaine Classic in Eugene, Oregon, making her the second fastest woman of all time. She expressed interest in eventually breaking the world record. Her relentless drive and determination have kept her at the top. Elaine's legacy isn't just about speed. It's about enduring pain, facing doubt, and rising through the noise. Her story resonates because it's real, filled with highs, lows, and unbelievable triumph. Now, every time she steps onto the track, she's not just running for gold. She's running for every athlete who's been doubted, every dreamer told they're done, and every woman who dares to rise again. Elaine Thompson-Herah didn't just win races, she rewrote history. So if you ever need proof that comebacks are real, that quiet determination can beat the odds, just watch her run. She wasn't supposed to come back, but she didn't just return, she ruled. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if Elaine's story inspired you. More powerful stories of redemption and greatness are just a click away.
Wilson and Dedman digging for the line. The 17-year-old Quincy Wilson holds Dedman off, and Quincy Wilson says, the win!
It's a warm July night in Memphis. The stadium at the Ed Murphy Classic is packed, alive with anticipation. All eyes are fixed on a 17-year-old named Quincy Wilson. Calm, steady, and focused, he steps into lane 5. The crowd quiets, the gun fires, and Quincy bursts forward like he's chasing a ghost of greatness no one else can touch. What happened next didn't just shock the stadium, it sent a ripple through the entire world of track and field. That kind of performance didn't happen overnight. Born January 8, 2008 in Chesapeake, Virginia, Quincy was just 8 years old when he discovered track. His parents recognized his raw talent early. They moved him and his family to Maryland so he could attend bully school. That move paid off. He broke the under-14 national record that once belonged to Obeah Moore. Running sub-48 at 14, he announced himself as a prodigy. By early 2024, he was rewriting high school history. Indoor U 18 world best of 45.66 in Boston. Viral splits at Penn Relays. NIL deals with New Balance. Then came Paris 2024. At 16, he became the youngest American male track Olympian, anchoring a heat in the 4x400 relay. Team USA won gold, and Quincy earned a gold medal too. Still the youngest in history. The signs were already there. At meets across the country, coaches and analysts started circling his name. Commentators didn't ask if he would break another record, they asked when. Every lap felt like a countdown to something bigger. 2025 started rocky. Early spring, he lost a high school indoor 500-meter race to Andrew Salvadon. Some wondered if he was feeling the pressure of the spotlight, but he bounced back clearly, running 45.66 indoors against professionals at the New Balance Grand Prix, setting a new high school indoor standard.
The two together down the straight, the inside is open, but Quincy Wilson will hang on for the win. Quincy Wilson across the line.
Then he launched his outdoor season. He clocked 44.66 in the U.S. Trials prelims, then 44.59 in semis. That made 4 U18 records in under a year. He placed 6th in the Trials final, just missing Olympic team qualification, but secured a spot in the 4x400 relay pool.
Here they come off the turn, the top 5 advance. Quincy Wilson, the high school sophomore from Maryland.
What's astonishing is how he handled those early setbacks. Many young stars crumble under pressure. Quincy took the opposite route. He sharpened his focus, pushed his limits, and refused to let one loss define him. He knew the outdoor season was his opportunity to rewrite the narrative. Next came Gainesville. Under brutal heat, he ran 44.20. That was already elite, but Memphis was his masterpiece.
With Bryce Dedman pushing for the line. Wilson and Dedman headed to Paris, and they meet the line at the same time.
July 12th, storm clouds gathered over the University of Memphis track. Quincy, in lane 5, was locked in. The gun fired, and he exploded from the blocks. He didn't just start fast, he controlled the race. Through the backstretch into the curve, he held command. By the final stretch, he was alone. The clock read 44:10. He collapsed at the finish, overcome. He had beaten veterans and set a time that ranks 4th fastest globally in 2025, behind athletes nearly a decade older. He later said, "I went out there and shot out like a bullet. I'm super thankful and blessed." That moment cemented his name in the track and field spotlight. More than a race, it was a signal to the world. Quincy Wilson isn't just promising. He's here, and he's real. What does a 44.10 mean in elite terms? This year, only 3 professionals ran faster: Zakithi Nene, Caleb McRae, and Jacare Patterson. Quincy ranks 4th globally, and he's only 17. But the under-20 comparison is even more stunning. His time is 2nd all-time in that category, behind only Steve Lewis's 43.87 at the 1988 Seoul Olympics. Quincy even beats Lewis's U.S. trials mark of 44.11 that same year. As a high schooler, he is now in the company of Olympic legends. What's more impressive? He's done it consistently, not a fluke, not a one-time wonder. Quincy has 6 of the 10 fastest U18 400-meter times in history. That kind of reliability isn't common even among professionals. How does a teenager stay composed and run like a seasoned professional? It takes more than speed. It takes discipline, coaching, and mindset. Coach Joe Lee from Bullis School keeps him focused. "Run your race," he tells him. Quincy takes that seriously. After every loss, he adjusts. When he lost early in the 2025 season, he didn't break. He studied, learned, and trained harder. He embraces pressure, channels it. He trains to start fast. He learns to hold pace when others slow. His mental strength shows in how he responds to setbacks. After Memphis, he credited his faith, his family, and his coaches. He's aware of the weight of expectation, but he turns it into fuel. Behind the scenes, Quincy sticks to a strict training regimen: early mornings, interval work, recovery routines most people wouldn't even consider. His team keeps him grounded, and Quincy makes sure no one outworks him. Running 44.10 before your 18th birthday is more than rare. It's historic. Quincy now owns 6 of the top 10 U18 times ever. Each race, he moves deeper into the record books. Everywhere he runs, the spotlight follows. Online, fans marvel. One Reddit user wrote, "Most people can't sprint for more than 100 meters. This guy just ran 444. That's unreal." Another added, "Beast." Sports forums exploded after the Memphis run. Commentators called it a defining moment. Some even suggested he could break the senior world record within a few years. Whether or not that happens, one thing is clear: Quincy has everyone watching. His youth, his times, and his attitude are reshaping what people think is possible. He's become more than a high school star. He's a global contender. What comes next? Where does Quincy Wilson go from here? He's already chasing the under-20 world record of 43.87. That's just 0.23 seconds away. Could he go lower? Absolutely. With each race, he's closing in on professional benchmarks. The next step may be the Diamond League, maybe even a World Championship final. By 2028, he could headline Team USA at the Los Angeles Olympics. Imagine that. A 21-year-old Quincy Wilson in his prime, facing the world's best in front of a home crowd. He's already tasted Olympic gold, but he didn't run in the final. That hunger remains. He wants the solo stage. He wants to stand alone on the podium. He knows it will take more than raw talent. Longevity, strategy, and health matter. So does staying humble. So far, he's proving capable of all 3. His NIL deal with New Balance helps him train with pro-level resources. But the story remains the same: work, race, recover, improve. Quincy Wilson is more than a teenage phenom. He is a blueprint for the future of sprinting. Raised in Virginia, sharpened in Maryland, forged by fire in Memphis, he's got the medals, he's got the records, and most of all, he's got the mindset. He's rewritten what people thought was possible for youth sprinting. And now he's setting his sights on the big stage. If 44.10 is just the beginning, the world better keep watching. If Quincy Wilson keeps up this pace, he might just change the game forever. So what do you think is 43.87 within reach? Could we be witnessing the rise of the next sprint legend? Let us know in the comments. And if you want more untold stories from the world of track and field, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because trust us, this isn't the last time you'll hear the name Quincy Wilson.
The clock too. Remember that meeting record, 52.63. Bol charging for the line and gets there by a margin. 51.95. It's the fastest time.
She is unstoppable. Femke Bol just won her 28th race in a row, and she made it look easy. Every time she runs, she amazes everyone, and this time, she broke another record. Femke Bol is one of the top athletes in the world today. She specializes in the 400-meter hurdles, a demanding race that requires athletes to sprint one full lap around the track while clearing 10 evenly spaced hurdles. This event is known for testing both speed and stamina, along with precise technique and timing. During the latest competition in Monaco, Femke once again proved her dominance. She handled the tough race with incredible skill and finished ahead of everyone, continuing her amazing winning streak. Femke was born on February 23, 2000, in a city called Amersfoort in the Netherlands. When she was a little girl, she broke her arm 2 times. Her doctor suggested she try judo to help her learn how to fall without getting hurt. Later, she followed her big brother to an athletics club in 2008. That's when she found out she loved to run. She said that running made her feel calm and happy. In 2014, she joined another club called AV Altis. A coach there noticed she was very good at running long distances fast. In 2016, she helped at the European Championships in Amsterdam by scanning tickets. She was just a helper back then, not knowing she would one day be the main star at big events like that. She studied communication at Wageningen University. Even though she is famous now, she still lives a simple life. In 2023, she started dating a Belgian pole vaulter named Ben Broders. They bought a house together in Hilsum in 2024 and got engaged in 2025. They support each other's athletic careers and enjoy living a quiet life away from the spotlight. On the track, Femke is a true champion. In 2023, she became the world champion in the 400-meter hurdles. In 2024, she won another world title for running the 400 meters indoors, which doesn't have hurdles. From 4th to 1st in one lap, she absolutely nailed it. She helped her team from the Netherlands win gold in the 4x400-meter relay races at both the World Championships and the Olympics. Her ability to shine both individually and as part of a team shows her versatility and leadership. But there was one place she had never won before, Monaco. She had raced there before, but never won the hurdles race. In 2025, she came back with one goal, win in Monaco. The race in Monaco was a big event. The stadium was packed with cheering fans. People were watching all around the world. She had already won 27 Diamond League races and 5 Diamond League titles. But this race felt different. She was racing against some very strong runners like Dalila Muhammad and Andronette Knight. When the race started, Femke took off with power. She ran smoothly and fast. Her steps between the hurdles were perfect. She jumped over each one like it was no big deal. In the last part of the race, she pushed herself even harder and sped up. She finished the race in just 51.95 seconds. That's one of the fastest times ever recorded in this event. It was the fastest time in the world this year and set a new meet record in Monaco. Only a few women in history have ever run this race faster. After the race, Femke smiled and said, "To run a 51 is huge. I don't do that every day." Her race was picked as the Omega moment of the meeting, which means it was the best and most exciting part of the night. It showed that Femke is not just fast, but also focused and ready for any challenge. Right after the race, Femke posted on Instagram, "Thank you, Monaco. The atmosphere was electric. I had so much fun, 51.95 for the win and meet record." Her fans were super proud of her. In the comments, people wrote things like, "You're the best, Femke." "True champ." "Unbelievable." World Athletics wrote on X, "The streak continues. That's 28 wins in a row for Femke Bol, who remains unbeaten in the 400-meter hurdles in the Bad Diamond League." That's right. Femke has now won 28 races in a row in the 400-meter hurdles. She hasn't lost since 2020. That's a winning streak that almost no one else can match. The 400-meter hurdles is one of the hardest races in track and field. You have to